That noise just always makes me happy whenever I hear it. Part of it's nostalgia probably, but I mean it's just a nice noise, a very iconic noise. Anyway, oh well, this is probably a little unexpected since I still have something running right now as far as Let's Plays go, but basically I only have like 4 parts of that left. Probably 3 by the time you guys see this. And the next project I plan on following that with, I was gonna have this going on as a side project to that anyway, so I figured, why not? Let's start a little early. Just so I don't have a week where I just do like 1 video, because that would be a little weird. So, welcome to Crash Bandicoot.
But Dr. Cortex, we have not determined the cause of past failures. Moron! This Bandicoot will be my general, and he will lead my Cortex commandos to world domination. This time I shall reign triumphant. We are closer than ever before. Quickly, into the vortex! But Dr. Cortex, the vortex is not ready. We have no idea what it could do. Failure again. Capture him! Uh-oh. Prepare the female bandit.
So, yeah, I just wanted to get that playing, because it doesn't actually play if you start the game from here, for some reason. I don't know why, since it is supposed to be the opening cutscene of the game, but I guess I figured people would probably skip it on replays. Who knows? Anyway, Crash Bandicoot is a game that I have quite a lot of history with. It was actually the first video game that I ever played, as far as I know. This would be like when I was 3, so I didn't have particularly strong memories of back then. But I do remember not being good at the game because I was like 3 years old and hadn't played a video game before. And I also remember I still beat it anyway because I had a lot of free time because I was a child. Anyway, so yeah, game that means a lot to me, and I should mention, by the way, I am playing this on the PS1 version. Some people might be wondering why I'm not playing the Insane Trilogy remake that came out a few years ago, and well, what I just said is basically the reason. I grew up on this specific version of the game, so it feels right to play this version instead of the remake, because this is a version that I fell in love with the game on, so yeah. So let's get going. I should mention though that I am more used to how the remake handles, so some things I might screw up on that I wouldn't have screwed up on in the remake. And who knows, maybe some things that I would have screwed up on the remake, I won't screw up here. But actually, this is like the first opportunity for me to demonstrate, like, what I'm not used to in this version, because it takes 10 bounces to break these bouncy crates in this version. In the remake, they reduced it to 5. So, yeah, not really used to that. But yeah, the main object of the game, by the way, is just to get to the end of the level, but a side objective is you want to break all the crates in the level. There's no, like, counter or anything, at least not in this version, to let you know how many crates you've gotten, but I feel like I remember the level's layouts well enough to where that's not really an issue. They did add that in the remake, I believe, but we're not playing that. We're playing the old school version of the game. Also, when you spin enemies, they like go flying into the screen, and sometimes they break crates or whatever. And that's fun. But you do kind of have to be careful of that in some instances. I'm assuming most people watching this are probably at least somewhat familiar with the mechanics of Crash Bandicoot. But I guess to explain a few things, the apple-like things I'm collecting are called Wumpa Fruits. They don't have much purpose, but if you get 100 of them, you get an extra life. Because this is an old video game, and lives still existed in games at this point. For the most part, anyway. This is a checkpoint, obviously, as you just saw. And the little masks I've been collecting are called waow masks. So in this game, you die in one hit unless you have one of these masks on. If you have a mask, if he is normal colored, like what you see on the box right now, you can take an extra hit, and if you take a hit, he will eat the hit and then go away. If he's golden like this, that means you have 2 hits, so he'll eat the hit and then go back to his non-golden state. But if you get another mask while he is golden, this happens, and you have more or less invincibility. If you fall in a pit or something, then you'll still die from that, but you're just automatically, like, damaging enemies with contact now. Breaking crates with contact, too. Some games in the series, actually, you'll have to be careful with this, because sometimes they'll have you using your crates as a platform. Like so. What some people like to do for this, like, set of crates here is they like to just have waow here, like, take invincibility over here and just run over crates as they pop up. But that's a little risky. I mean, technically, like, even trying to get the crates here is a bit risky. But, you know. So, here's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna do things how I did them when I was a small child, playing this game for the first time. Fuck! Yeah, it's hard and a bit nerve-wracking, but this is how I've always done it. Again, the problem with doing things the way a lot of people do is that timing it that one time is also really risky. And because you have such a short window, it's still, like, you know, really, really risky. Alright, so let's try this again. I mean, I've already blown my chance to do it the invincibility trick way. Fuck! Okay, got it. Not that it matters, for reasons we'll get into soon. And yeah, these are the only crates down that path. So, we now have every crate in the level. How's about that? First level done, and it took us about 9 minutes. So, we got all the crates in the level, but we didn't actually get an award for it. So, why is that? Well, let me real quick go through that level, but without dying, and you'll see.
What have I got?
Alright, and I can't tell if I fucked that up or not. Let's see. Yeah, that was me doing the trick. As I said, it's a bit tricky at time. Okay, good, I got all of them. So, the screen wasn't there before. What's the difference? I didn't die this time. So, in order to get gems in Crash Bandicoot, you have to not only get every crate in the level, you have to do that without dying once. Just gonna, like, keep it close up on his face here for a bit. Right. So, let's continue. Also, if you get a crate, you actually get to save your game. This is a save from my previous recording that was a failure. Let's overwrite that. Didn't have a practice file because I've played this game so many times that I pretty much know it by heart. So I didn't really need to refresh myself on it. Jungle Rollers, the second level of the game. So, first things first, this level we can't actually get the gem in just yet, because this game also has something called colored gems, which are just gems that are colored. And once you get them, they open up special paths. I can't talk today, I guess. Yeah, they open up special paths, and once you get them, you can go back to levels where there were gem paths and go through them. In this game, most of those gem paths, like the one we just saw here, by the way, kind of, you might have seen it if you were paying attention. They're usually basically just, hey, here's a pathway with like 3 gems in it. Oh, this had TNT crates on it last time I was here. I guess that dude we just spun into it got rid of him for us. I don't know. But yeah, the TNT crates are basically what they say on the tin. If you jump on them, then they open up a timer. Which, once that timer is done, it explodes, and if you're within a blast radius when the TNT explodes, well, I mean, what the fuck do you think happens? Also, these bonus rounds, in this version of the game, they're basically just a way to get extra lives and save if you don't want to go for gems. Keep in mind if you save through these things, by the way, it is a mid-level save, so it saves you, like, before you enter the level, not, like, midway through the level or, like, after you've finished the level, obviously. So you will have to go through the level again. I can't talk. You will have to go through the level again if you save, beat the level, and then just kind of fuck off. The gem saves, of course, since they're after you beat the level, then obviously they save you after the level's done and you get the gem. So yeah, anyway, here's the end of the level, and here's what happens if you get the level without dying, but you haven't got all the crates. Yep. And as you can see, we only missed like 3 of them. That gem platform literally just takes us up an elevator and to some crates we can bop. I already mentioned going through this game for like full completion isn't actually very fun. Like, it's fun if you're like just trying to get what you can in the levels, but going for backtracking and all that is like the opposite of fun. Timer says we're at 14 minutes. Let's go for one more level, the Great Gate. So yeah, this is a side-scrolling level, actually. This game does have a few side-scrolling levels. You've probably noticed that this game is basically only technically a 3D platformer. Well, he's out of reach from me. Doesn't matter, I still got the crate anyway, and actually I don't think I can even get the gem for this level right now. I think there's a gem platform here too. Oh. Well, I don't think, like, deaths when you haven't gotten a checkpoint yet count, by the way. I probably should have mentioned that earlier, but, you know. I know they don't count in the remake. I assume the same is true of this version, but again, it's been a while since I've played this version. I'm more used to the remake. So yeah, I assume you've probably noticed by now, this game's basically only kind of a 3D platformer. Like, it is in 3D, of course. See, that was an instance of me not being used to this game's physics, because I was, like, letting go as soon as I spun into an enemy, but I forgot that in this version of the game, there's kind of a slide to your spin, I guess. Yeah. They changed that in the remake because that's not how later games did it, if I remember correctly. Whoop. That said, you can cancel it by, like, pointing a stick in another direction. In this case, backwards. Or, I guess to the left would be proper. But, you know, it's backwards from where Crash is facing. Oh. Huh. Well, I was lucky. But yeah, back to what I've been trying to say for a few times and just keep getting interrupted. Yeah, this game's basically only nominally a 3D platformer, because it isn't 3D, but it doesn't really take too much advantage of it. There's, like, kind of lanes, sort of, but you could totally do that in 2D just by, like, changing the camera's perspective. But to be fair, it does help the game age a lot better than other 3D platformers. There's some elements beyond that that make this game age a little bit, but, I mean, whatever. You're not playing a game from 1996 and expecting it to be, like, a perfect masterpiece in 2020. Whoop! Oh well. But, thankfully, we don't need to worry about that, because... fuck it. Because we can't actually get the gem from this level just yet. But I think this might be, like, one of the levels where we actually, like, do have something interesting on the alternate jump path. I should mention, by the way, even though I said this game's, like, kinda boring to go for 100% on, I am still going to be trying anyway, just because, I mean, I know this game well enough, might as well. And, like, it's not too much more effort, I guess. Like, I like going for the gems. I don't like going back into levels and replaying, like, the entire level just to get the, like, 2 seconds of content that I missed. Whoa! I'm gonna regret not going for a remake after this is done, aren't I? Especially since I could totally just have a remake, play that, and then even play it at 60 FPS, because I have a PC version, and my PC can run it. As you can probably tell, it's run everything else I've run on it. Mostly, like, I think the one game I've actually had trouble running on PC is the first Wolfenstein, just because it doesn't have any video modes other than OpenGL, and I have an AMD card. And AMD OpenGL drivers are notoriously kind of bad. Come on. Those guys suck, by the way. Oop. Hello. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think there's like a single level on this island, aside from like gimmick levels in the first level, that you can actually get the gem on. So, I think I have enough reach to make it there. Not that it matters a whole lot, I guess, because, yeah. Didn't need to worry. I'm mainly worried there because sometimes in like the later levels of other Crash games, and I think this one too, if I remember correctly, they do actually have points where if you like spin the metal crate too early, then it actually does lock you out of hitting some of the other crates, and I just wanted to be careful. But yeah, this is going to be the last level we do this video, so this checkpoint is kind of worthless to me. I mean, it's going to be worthless to me anyway, just because, you know, these are Let's Plays, and it would be kind of weird if I just, like, did half of the level in a video. Oh, unless this was, like, 2009, back when we had, like, a 10-minute limit, or more like 11-minute limit, but everyone called it a 10-minute limit anyway, because most people just went for 10 minutes anyway, so they wouldn't accidentally go over the limit, but it was really an 11-minute limit. Not that we have to worry about that anymore. But yeah, there's actually a little bit more content to this level beyond what other levels get for gem paths. I don't think too much more, but... we're over 20 minutes, so... I guess this will be it. Next time, we'll be taking on Boulders, so see y'all next Wednesday for more Crash Bandicoot. Later, everybody.